All right, picking up with problem number 11. What non-zero value of x is a solution for the following equation? So we're looking again to find our least common denominator. So we look at all of the terms we have. We've got one x in each one of them, so we know we're going to have an x. And the smallest number that both 3 and 5 will go into is going to be 15. So when we write this out, we have x plus 2 all over x. What does my common denominator have that this one's missing? Well, this one's missing a 15, so we're going to multiply 15 from the top and the bottom of the first problem. Plus, we have x minus 6 is my second term over 3x. What does my common denominator have that this one's missing? Well, it has both a 3 and an x, so it's only missing a 5. So we multiply 5 on both the numerator and the denominator. And then at the end, we've got 2x plus 9 all over 5x. Again, what does my common denominator have that this denominator is missing? And it's only missing a 3. So we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by 3. So we're going to use our distributive property here. And we get 15x plus 30 plus distributive property here, 5x minus 30 is equal to 6x plus 27. And we're going to combine like terms on the same side. So I have a minus 30 and a plus 30 on the same side, so they cancel each other out. I got 15x plus 5x. That's a 20x is equal to 6x plus 27. So I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. I get 14x is equal to 27, and then I have to divide by 14. So I get x is equal to 27 over 14. Now, let's say that I don't know exactly how to start this problem. So I'm going to see if I can go to Desmos and work something out. So if I go to Desmos and I pull up my problem, there's my problem. And then I have 4 answer choices. And I put all of my answer choices in. And I get some nasty little decimals. Okay? So you see that? So I'm looking here at where it crosses my x-axis. So I'm going to try to zoom in. So I'm looking at, I know that it's less than 2. And the only one of my answers that is less than 2, but greater than 1.5, is this answer right here. So I can plug it into Desmos and get it that way. So our answer here is going to be answer choice A. All right? For problem number 12, when we're looking at this one, we want to know how many values of x will satisfy this equation. So we have an absolute value problem. And just like any grouping symbol, we have to get this by itself first. So I'm going to divide both sides by a negative 2. Well, 0 divided by anything is still going to give me 0. Okay? And then I can't have a positive 0 and a negative 0, so I just have one answer. So it's 3x minus 5 is equal to 0. Add 5, I get 3x equals 5, so x is equal to 5/3. Now be careful. They didn't want to know what the solution was. They wanted to know how many values would satisfy it. So for this one, we technically, when we solve it, we only have one answer that would satisfy that. Okay? All right. For problem number 13, we're given a graph, we're given an equation, and then we're given 4 graphs and we want to match it. So the best way to do this is to substitute this into Desmos. So we're going to go to Desmos and we're going to plug in y is less than, let me clear out some of these first, y is less than the absolute value of x plus 4 minus 1. All right, so I'm going to go back to my home and I'm going to zoom out. So this is the graph that I have. it crosses at -3, 0. It crosses at -5, 0. And my vertex is located at -4, 1. So when I go back to my graphs, I'm looking here, -5, 3, -4, but it's not shaded above it. It's shaded below that graph. So answer choice B looks like the correct one. And so I didn't even really have to do any work. I just had to look at Desmos and come up with my answer for that one. All right, for problem number 14, we've got a radical that we've got to solve. So we're going to get a radical sign by itself first. So we have 7 minus 2x plus 5 equals 8. We're going to subtract 5 from both sides. And we end up with 7 minus 2x is equal to 3. Now the only way that we can get rid of a radical sign is to raise to the power that matches the index. Well, on this one we don't have a number written out as our index, so we know that it's a 2. So when our exponent and index match, it cancels out our radical sign, and we're left with what's underneath it, the radicand. 7 minus 2x is equal to, and when we square 3, we get 9. Then we're just simply going to solve to get our variable by itself. So we're going to subtract 7 from both sides, and that's going to give us a -2x is equal to a +2. Divide by a -2, and we get x is equal to a -1. Well, it looks like that's going to be our answer. So before we submit this, we're going to answer that. Let's go and let's check this in Desmos. So let's go back and let's plug in this whole equation exactly as we have it written in Desmos. So we've got the square root of 7x minus 2x, sorry, I said it wrong, plus 5 is equal to 8. So we have a solution here, and it looks like, yep, it's on -1. So that is our answer, and it does check. So our answer for this one is -1. All right, for problem number 15, when we're looking at this one, we want to know what is the apparent solution set of the system. So when we want to know the solution set of the system, we technically just want to know where the two graphs intersect each other. So we've got 2 points of intersection. One looks like at -4, 3, and the other one looks like it's at -1, 0. So let's see if we can find that. -4, +3, and -1, 0. So there we go, answer choice C. We really didn't have to do any work for this one either. We just needed to look at the graph and come up with our answer. All right, for question number 16, when we're looking at this, we want to know which graph best represents the solution. Okay, so we're going to plug each one of these into Desmos and see which one matches it. So it looks like it's an open circle on 4. So when we come back here and we're going to write this, so we're going to have 4. So we have an open circle on 4, so we don't have a line underneath our inequality. And then we have our x in the middle. And then we have somewhere here between -10 and -12. So it looks like it's probably at -11. So we're looking at something that has to do with this as far as our answers are going to be. So let's go to Desmos and let's graph this. X minus 11 is greater than 4. So we're going to try that. Absolute value of x minus 11 is greater than 4. And let's see what our answers are for that one. Let's zoom out a little bit. So it's pointing in opposite directions. So that one's not going to be our answer because it's being graphed to the left and to the right and not in between them. Okay? So if we go to our next one, it would be less than 4. So I'm going to change this and make it a less than symbol. Ooh, that looks pretty good. But it's only going between these two numbers. It's not going over to -11. So let's take another one. So 2x plus 7 is greater than 15. So 2x plus 7 is greater than 15. Right? Again, on that one, it's pointing outside, so we're going to change our inequality sign to a less than. This one is looking a lot better. So it looks like it's crossing at positive 4, and over here it's crossing at negative 11. And that's the answers that we came up with. So our answer choice here looks like it's going to be D. Right? So just a little look in Desmos, and that should help. All right, for problem number 17, what value makes this true? Let's go ahead. If we write it out, we have the cube root of 2x minus 5 is equal to 3. Our radical sign is by itself, so all we need to do is raise both sides to the same power that matches our index. Our index, in this case, is a 3. So we're going to raise that. When our exponent and index match, our radical sign goes away. And 3 to the third power is 81. If you don't know that, plug it into Desmos. Then we're going to add 5 to both sides. And we're going to get 2x is equal to 86. Then we're going to divide by 2. So we get x is equal to 43. So we're thinking here that our answer should be 43. So let's check it. Let's go to Desmos. Let's plug in our original problem. So the cube root of 2x minus 5 is equal to 3 is what we're going to plug into Desmos. And if we didn't have an x here, we would make sure that when we plugged it into Desmos, we do have an x value. All right, so in order to get the cube root, we've got to remember to pull up our functions, go to miscellaneous, middle column in the miscellaneous. So we have 3 and 2x minus 5 is equal to 3. So I don't see any answer, so we're going to zoom out. And we did have a big answer. And let's see what we got here. That looks like we have an answer of 16. That's not something that we got, was it? The cube root of 2x minus 5 is equal to 3. Cube root. 86, 43. All right, let's go back. Let's see if we've got an answer at 43. Let's zoom out some more. Did we get an answer at 43? No. You know why? Because I did some wrong multiplication. So 3 cubed is not 81, it is 27. So help me out. Don't let me do that again. So 27 plus 5 gives me 34, and half of 34 is 17. Now, well, we're glad we checked this in Desmos. Where does it look like this crosses? So I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, and there we go. Looks like our answer should be 16. Is that what I got? No, I got 17. 27 plus 5. If I could add, I would be dangerous. All right, let's try this one more time. 27 plus 5 is 32. And half of 32 is 16. So we all make mistakes. I made a couple of big ones on the same problem, but at least Desmos can help me check it. And I know that I got my answer right because it shows it to me here. It equals 16.